Look at lemmings, right? They all look in different directions for the herd. Most people are lemmings. Most people are not lions. I'm a lion, let's say. I still have a pride, right? But lemmings need people more than anything. If you're a normal person, the number one thing you need is brotherhood. Because you're a fucking lemming. You don't stand a chance. You need a bunch of people looking in different directions and trying to... So if you think you're going to get through this world by yourself, you don't stand a chance, because even enough hyenas can kill a lion when it's on its own. This is the reality of the world. So you need to have brotherhood. Brotherhood is everything. It's always been everything. Brotherhood has been the basis of my life with my brother, my biological brother, and my best friends. I still live with my best friends to this day. Why do you live with your friends? Because they can fight and I can trust them. They can fight and I can trust them in any scenario. You're no use to me in the brutal realities of the world. I don't want to live with you. I want to live with them.
It is a brutal reality.
And that's the reality of the world. You're always going to be more competitive with brotherhood on your side. You're never going to be competitive as a lone wolf. It doesn't matter how good you are. You'll just be outnumbered and destroyed. So absolutely, you can't be rich without brotherhood. More interestingly, you can't be poor without brotherhood. How the fuck are you going to be a brokey without brotherhood? That's even worse.
Yeah, low key.
Well, there's strength in numbers, right? You can go to the poorest countries in the world. They have the most kids. Why? Because one of them might make some money. Like, it's just strength in numbers, right? We can't have one kid in a village in Africa or in India. It's not how it works. There's massive strength in numbers. So you should be prioritizing your brotherhood. It's one of the quickest and easiest ways to get rich. A lot of my fans have moved in with their friends or moved in with their biological brothers and amplified their lives. It's not hard to work out that if you have 5 people pooling an income and you all trust each other, you can acquire assets quickly. You don't even need to have high incomes. If you have 5 men pooling their assets,
anything.
Well, you can buy a Lambo, you buy a house, you can buy something that's going to generate profit. It's not difficult to do if you can find men you can trust. And that's the way society was until recently. Now men are separated. Why are we separated? We're separated because we're not as powerful. If you had 10 men living in one house, all 10 would probably unify around a table and say, are we doing this or not? If you have one guy, it's easier. One guy with a chick, even easier. It's even easier to get him because his woman's like, just do it. No, just do it for the grandma. Oh, okay. Men in groups are scary to the establishment because men in groups were resilient. Men in groups are, to a degree, I wouldn't say confrontational, but I would say that consequences seem a lot less real when you're with your boys. You go out drinking, you go out, you get in a fight, you don't care. You're with the guys. You're like it's something that we've evolved with for when we're supposed to go to war. Shoot us then. Fuck you. It's just inside of us. So they don't want us to be that way. So that's why they deliberately attack the idea of brotherhood constantly. They don't like the idea of brotherhood. They'll call it gay, or they'll say it's homo, or men shouldn't do that. You should live with your chick, and your chick's crying, I want a new car, I want a new car. And men just get dragged away from it. And this is a Western world phenomenon. It doesn't happen in other countries. I'll give you an example. I know a really good Islamic guy. I grew up in Luton, which is a Islamic town inside of the Islamic country of Great Britistan. And there you have a lot of Muslim people, right? And there was a Muslim guy I knew, and he worked in a chicken and chip shop, a fast food restaurant. He drove a Ferrari. So how do you drive a Ferrari working in a fast food restaurant? He said, well, I have 5 brothers, and we all pool our incomes, and we all live in one house. So, okay, well, are you married? He goes, yeah, all our wives live in the house, and they cook and they clean. They're all in the house cooking and cleaning, and us 5 guys are all out making money. We put our money together. We bought the house. We bought a second house. We bought this Ferrari. We bought that third house. And they all had very normal jobs. That's the Islamic mindset, right? Those guys were from Bangladesh. You find a Western guy. He grows up in his family home, and then he gets a girlfriend, and he wants to live with his girlfriend. So he disappears with his girlfriend. And then he's paying all the bills. His girlfriend doesn't want to work. She's on Instagram. She needs to get likes. She's a supermodel, of course. So she's getting Instagram likes. He's paying all the bills, paying rent, paying utilities, has to get a nice car to impress her, gets in debt for the car. Then his brother does the same thing in another direction. So now you got these 2 white young men paying rent to Bangladeshis, paying all their rent up, getting in debt, trying to impress women they're not even going to marry, sitting there in an endless debt spiral because their brotherhood's been destroyed. If those 2 men were to move in together and work together to own an asset, things would be different. So brotherhood is the bottom line to most things, and most cultures still understand this. It's one of the biggest ailments with the West is that we've forgotten this point. It's not about being rich or poor. It's about being a man as a whole. Brotherhood is everything. This is what we're designed, biologically evolved to be. Let me ask you another question, because you live in LA, and it's very interesting.
You been to LA?
I've been to LA, unfortunately.
Do you like it?
No. If you got in trouble, would you call your girlfriend?
Probably call my roommates.
You call your boys. Yeah. That's who you call, right? Like, what would you call your girl for? It'll be okay.
She would get a call.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd let her know you're fine, but you wouldn't say, "Get down here now." I mean, I hope not. I don't know. You're from LA, maybe. I don't know how it works over there. I don't know. Probably. Maybe it's like in my world, you don't call them when you have trouble because they can't do anything. They can't do anything. They can either say it's going to be fine when they have no idea whether it's going to be fine or not, or they can get panicked and scared themselves and add to the trouble. That's it. All my trouble, I tell my brother or I tell my guys. They know my trouble, not some chick. She can't do anything. So brotherhood is everything. If you got in real trouble, you'd call the boys. If you couldn't call the cops. And if you call the cops, you want men to come. So much blonde chicks turn up. You're like, where's the dudes with the guns? Where's the machine gun? That's the reality. What's the bottom line? What's the true bottom line of reality and of humanity, of this civility we live under? What's the bottom line?
It's a war.
It's violence. That's right. Who can be violent? Men. This is the way it works.